past few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom it makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yarn store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet and to my chaos room, which is what it is today. Rearranging things, building an exercise room, so I had to move a lot of stash back into my office. And as every day goes by, I'm either pitching, organizing, or getting ready to get rid of some stash or keeping some and trying to figure out where to put it. So it's an adventure, and that's what we do. But welcome. It is the end of October, and I have been busy also crafting on top of everything else that I'm doing. So let me get into it. I have a couple finished objects. I have a lot of ongoing projects and some that are going to get ripped that I have found because in the mass disorganization to organization, I found some additional whips that I have. And yeah, I think that's where I am. So let's start off. I have a lady at work that is having a baby. And I started one project and didn't really care for it, so I went shopping, as one does when they see a yarn store. And I picked up some Plymouth yarn. It's one of the mixes. It's like the 70-30 mix or whatever. I can't remember which one. But I picked up 2 skeins in the color 26 pink, and this is what I have remaining of the second skein. So not very much. And then I picked up the pattern Long-Eared Bunny from Etsy. And I ended up making this one. So my coworker is having a baby girl. And I used a pom-pom for the tail, because I can. But I also put in a music box. So if you turn the tail, it plays Amazing Grace. But I know littles, and they want to play with the dollies instead of just having them in the crib. So I did use Safety Eyes from 6060 on Etsy, and everything else is just embroidery. And yeah, I don't embroider, so it's as good as it's gonna get. But I like this, and I thought, she is so cute, so cute. So I decided with the scraps of some of this pink and some yarn from Premier, I would do up one that would hold up to a little bit of dirt. And so I did this gray one. Again, it has a pom-pom butt because this one's a bigger pom-pom, but it's there. And that can be removed. It's just a quick add-on, remove for washing. And again, the Eyes by 6060, different kind of mouth on this one. Used pink accents, put pink on its paws. And so I made 2. And these are both going off to that coworker's home. And I just think they're adorable. This one does not have the music box in it, completely squishable for the littles. And that works. So I had a little bit of yarn left over, and I had picked up a pattern from Country Needleworks in Jenison, Michigan, and that's where I had picked up the Plymouth yarn also. And these are bulky. I think that the pattern only calls for worsted, so it made a bigger doll. That's fine. But I had a little bit of the yarn left over, and I picked up a pattern called Granny Square Chicken from Sweet Softies. And so I used the 2 colors of stash yarn and then a gray wool ease, thick and quick that I had, and a little bit of gold that was just a scrap of color. And I made this Granny Chicken with her little butt feathers. And basically you make 2 squares, and you're supposed to change out every color, but I just did it in the colors that I had, and I didn't add eyeballs. And this isn't going to go to a kid, so I'm not worried about putting a nylon in. This is just going to go up on my shelf. This one's for me. And I did her comb and her tail feathers, and you make the squares and then you sew them together on 3 sides, and then you squish the 4th side. So any granny square could be used. This is just what was in the pattern, and I thought it was really cute. It's supposed to be tiny. It's supposed to be a DK weight. It only comes out to about a 3-inch chicken. This one is much bigger than a 3-inch chicken, because go big or go home. So, and I always want to go home because, you know, I pay for it. So going home is not a hardship to me. But I just love this little chicken. It is so cute. And I may be making a few as emotional support chickens for friends. So she's going to go right here and probably be off camera, but nope, she's still on camera. So there we go. That one, I think the pattern cost me $3 or something like that. So it wasn't bad. It is available on Ravelry, and also I believe through her site, Sweet Softies. So another item that I was finishing up, this is just an acrylic that was in my stash. I made a car seat blanket, not very big, but that was all the color I had. It is in a 5-pointed star from just a granny. No recipe, no pattern, no nothing. And I need to wash and block it. And I'm not sure which little one will get this, but it's going to go into my resource for a blanket to be given. Great size for on top of a car seat, so they have something to hold onto. Extremely soft. I wish I knew what this yarn was. It was Deep Stash, no ball band. I like the flecks that are in it, and it's just a really, really pretty color of blue, but it has a lot of pink flecks in it, so it would work gender-wise for either one. So that's another finished object. 2 fiber related, I guess, is I had picked up at the local store, they had some of these bead kits that you iron, and I've never done any of them, but it was a gnome with a pumpkin, and I'm like, yeah, I need to do that. So I did that, and so I have this little guy, and along with the gnome came a fox. And so I made these up. I don't know what I'm going to use them for. You're supposed to put a hole in them and hang them. I don't know if I'm going to. They're a little bit warped to be able to use as a coaster, but as my nails right now, not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but I have a squirrel on this nail, and I have a fox on this nail. And I just thought that these were just cute. Of course, the gnome for my collection, and the fox because he's cute, and they came in a package of 2. So I made that up. That's another finished object that I have. Oh, now for the whip parade. You know, when I started this podcast way, way, way back when, I maybe kept 3 things on the needles, and I keep finding more and more and more. So I'm going to grab and go through them. I have a notepad here. If I forget names, I will try to put them in. Editing is not my forte, so we'll just see how this goes. I am drinking tea today in my Hydro Flask. So where am I going to start? I'm going to start with this one. This is in my gnome bag. And this is from, Abby's Creative gnome bag. And I have my big sister. Of course, I have made deviations on this pattern. I am doing it out of puzzle yarn in a puzzle cotton, so it's a cotton blend. It is extremely squishy, and this is Big Sister. And I am at the point where I am just working on the ongoing going down of the body, and I'm increasing a little bit to make it more A-line because my hips are a little bit wider than my shoulders. So it has this pattern going down the front that is a garter rib like pattern, and it will continue down. I'm trying to make it hip length. It depends on how much yarn I have. I think I have 3 more skeins, and they're huge skeins. This is in the colorway Fog, and it is striping up on its own, just letting it do its thing, and I'll do the same with the arms. It will be long sleeves. I will be putting the pockets in just like the pattern, but that's a bit of a ways away. So as I can, I grab this up. It isn't my go-to because it is a cotton blend. It does tend to hurt the hands. So I grab it some. I know I went to Vertical Woman's Night at church the other day, and I grabbed this to take with me. It was a 3-hour program. It was amazing, and just being able to knit on this while I listen and I worship, that works for me. So here's one that I haven't talked about in a long while. This is a cashmere, 100% cashmere, making it into a ranunculus with all my changes and everything that I do for the ranunculus. And I am almost to the point of separating for the sleeve. I'm not quite. I think I need another inch before I separate. So I'm done with the yoke, but I like to add a bit before I separate. And I did add raglan increases to this one, which I haven't done in the past, but because this yarn is so thin, I wanted to go ahead and do that so that it goes to the size that I need. And I have my sleeves marked with stitch markers, and how I do that, just increasing left leaning and right leaning. I did do short rows in the back, but not the front. I don't like the way it comes up in the front. And yeah, that's where I am on that. This has been going since, believe I started this in South Dakota, so it's been a while. Maybe the first month I was here, but I really think it was South Dakota that I started this. I'm still on the first balls of the cashmere, and I am to the point of the carry-along cashmere. I need to get out another ball, and this one is going pretty well. I got these off Temu, and I was just going to try them out, but you know, so far so good. I'm not complaining about it. It's in an apricot color, which I think will go well. And yeah, I'm liking it. I will be making it longer. I do have 6 skeins of each, so I will be making it longer, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it long sleeve because I really like my short sleeve ranunculuses. So, or is it ranunculi? I don't know. I have them in my garden too. But yeah. So that is in my coffee bag. In my Animals from Around the World bag, who is this by? I Love You. And I love this bag, so yeah, very good. This is the leftovers of the Very Pink, and this is the actual shawl that is supposed to be made with that Very Pink Advent. I am not going to be finishing this. This will be ripped out. It's just not me. I love the sweater I'm making out of it, but this one, not so much. And so I will be ripping this out. It was done on, I believe, size 3 needles. No, size 4 needles. And I do have it here. I didn't enjoy working on it. It's not my style, so that's why I started the sweater with it. So that will get ripped out and I will use that yarn somewhere else. In one of my Serenity bags, this one has the Serenity ship from Firefly. I have a pair of socks. I have a sock in a DK weight from Fate's Threads. Believe this is a moth colorway. I don't remember, but I think it was a moth. And it's supposed to be scary, so it came with a skeleton stitch marker. It is on size 3 needles, correct? Hold on. Four. So not even the size that I knit my socks on. So this will get ripped out and knit on the correct size when I start socks with it. So that's probably why I had tucked these away. I'm seeing that some of these are just frogs, so that's fine. Then I have an Advent, which I believe this is my Opal Advent. Originally from Anna Knitter way back in the day. Whoops. I still have a lot of the things to go, but I had started a granny stripe blanket. Whoops. With a size 3.5 millimeter hook, and I'm just doing 2 rows of each, and I am in process, and I think, let's see, 2, 3, am I just doing 1 row of each? Wow. No, I'm just letting it go. Maybe I'm just letting it go, and that's how much that's getting out of it. But I haven't done that many days worth, and this is going to continue. These kind of blankets are just quick, easy, and when I get them done, they go to somebody or they go on the back of my couch. One of the things, because we snuggle up with blankets all year long. And yeah, I have quite a bit of yarn left, so just keep going on it. This is in my I Love You Miss Flower bag, the Stinky Squirrel. Love it. So this one I will continue on. Oops. These are my computer glasses. I have my regular glasses down here. It's just reading. Sometimes it's too close, but so this is one that I have started recently. This is Richard Scarry. I love Richard Scarry. Mr. Fix-It was my man. Lowly Worm made me happy. I really got into Richard Scarry when I was burned over 3/4 of my body when I was 3 years old. And I have scars. They can be seen. And my sister gave me the books. And so the nurses would come in and they would read to me, and they just became, for me, it was like before Where's Waldo, I would find the little critters on all the pictures and stuff. It just gave me something to focus on at that time. And so Richard Scarry and his books really hold a place in my heart. And in this one, I had started the Melly Fertile Infinity Cowl, which is bees. And I really wanted to do it. My head is not where I can do this kind of color work, and I had very little of it done. This is done out of concentric in 100% baby alpaca. I had used this blue, and I had this brown to gray, and I was going for it, and this is going to get ripped out and put back. I have enough of the blue to do a sweater out of, so I may just do what I had originally thought to do with that when I have a moment to do it. But this is getting frogged. So another bag, a Christmas bag. And I have my Christmas socks. This is Son of a Nutcracker by Vesper Sock and Knitterly Things. And let's see. I am through the heel turn, ready for the gussets. And these are going to be my Christmas socks. I need to get back to working on these. I had started these to work on at my grandson's football games. He's done with football. I didn't go as often as I thought. So yeah, that's where I am. I am doing those up on size 2 Chiagu needles and just need to finish. That's only sock 1 and I need to go on to sock 2. Nope, don't put it away without the ball band in there. That's how things get lost. Oh, this is my Pink Panther GI bag. Oh my, I can't remember who made this for me, and I don't see... Nope, I don't see a tag on it, but this is one of my first project bags that I ever got from a listener, and I still adore it. And I went to Garn House, which I will be talking about in a little bit. And while I was there, I saw a picture, or no, I'm sorry, I took a picture of one of the projects that they have as a sample. And I fell in love. And I fell in love with the color, and I'm just like, I have to make that. It's not a if I could, it's a I'm going to now. What is it? And that is this project. And it's called On the Way. Is it to Brighton or from Brighton? The Way from Brighton by Joji Locatelli. And I bought the yarn. Not exactly. Their yarn that they had this done up in was Plucky Knitter Primo DK. They didn't have any in this colorway. They only had a purple. You know how I don't wear purple personally, and I wanted this for me. So really close to this color is Peachy by Malabrigo. So I got really close. And normally I don't go, okay, I want it in that color. I will change. I have no problem. Most of the time I don't like the color that it's in, but this one, it's one of those colors that just works perfectly with my skin. And so I wanted this. So I picked up Malabrigo Rios in Peachy, and I picked up 3 skeins. And I proceeded to cast on. The cast on is super fiddly, but worth it. But I didn't do what they did. So I have 3 skeins of this, 2 that I haven't skeined up yet, 1 that I have. And instead, of course, I'm in the middle of a row because that's what podcasters do, right? So instead of doing it where you cast on the number, do a bobble, and then cast on more and do a second bobble, I decided to do 2 different links. So it looks the same, but it's a little bit different. So you have the longer bobbles every other and the shorter bobbles every other. And it comes out well. And I think this is just a little bit brighter than what the one on the wall was, but I'm okay with the color. I love it. It's got that, oh yeah, I could see the peachy in it, but I also see a nectarine in it with the more yellow orange compared to the peach. So that's what I'm going with. I am doing it exactly to the pattern other than the fringe. And now I am at the point of working up the sides on the fringe. So here's my corner turn. And you can see that this is the first one that I did originally. And now I'm working up the sides after picking up all the stitches for the edge. And it's done in a short row pattern back and forth. And not that far in, but I'm really liking the way it comes out. So I am doing that up on, I think I used a bigger needle than what was called for. No, a size 7. A size 7 is correct. So that works. While I'm here, I guess because I've talked about part of the yarn that I bought at Garn House, I also picked up enough for a sweater from Malabrigo Paris Nights in Seis Cabos, which is light worsted 100% merino wool. And I just happen to love this colorway. Paris Nights. Of course, that's upside down, right? Yep. And I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. It's got a high twist something, but I have enough yarn to make something out of it. Originally, I thought I would make something that I have going on a different yarn, but no, I like the other yarn that I'm using because I'm definitely on a peach kick. So let's see, where was I? Next pattern. Not peach, very gray. This is my Electra cardigan. I have finished both of the fronts and I am currently working up the back portion. So here is the back portion. I put this all together because I didn't want to do it in pieces. So, but there's a part where you get to the sleeves and you just have to do it in pieces. So this is one of the fronts so far without the neckline. And this is the second front without the neckline. The arms will be picked up and I am just trying to get the back as tall as what the fronts are so that it all comes out even. And then I will start on the neckline and then I will do the sleeves. I am doing this out of Chicken Lady Fiber Arts in Another Gray Hair. And I just love the way this is coming out. I'm not doing any kind of yarn management. I'm just letting it be what it is. And I'm really enjoying it. Can't wait to wear it. Just finding time to knit on it. It's a story of my life. Whoa! Of course, my notes just hit the floor. So talking about gray, before we switch gears, I started a blanket for our living room. This is called the braided wheat blanket. It is crocheted. Excuse me. I am only this far into it, and I'm going to continue on. And Sarge wanted something that was thick and quick and easy and warm. So out of my stash came from Lion Brand Color Made Easy yarn. I have 5 skeins of this. We'll see how big it goes. It was written for, I believe, a DK weight for a stroller size, but this is the same number of cast on, which a much larger hook and a much bigger yarn. And I believe this will be great as a throw blanket. This is half, and so I'm saying it's about 55 inches wide. So that is fine. I'm doing it with a J hook. Another blanket, because God knows I can't have enough. I want to do one of those plaid blankets that are out, and I forget the pattern name, but you can look at it and you make this. You can look it up on YouTube. It's called a plaid crochet blanket. You make a filet crochet background and then you weave through. And you need 6 colors. I'm only on the 3rd right now. So it will be these 3 colors, which is a taupey color, a mix of taupe and teal, and a teal color. And then I have a gray and white, and a white. And those will be the 6 colors. And they're from Premier Yarn. And I am just at the process of beginning it. I have a lot of other things I'd rather finish first, but I needed something to ease my cast on itis of I want to cast on everything. So a blanket's always easy because then I can tuck it away and I can still get back to it. It isn't a gauge issue most of the time, so it's easy. This one is in my old Knittin' in the Mitten, my old retreat bag. And I keep getting asked if I'm going to bring back this retreat. I don't know. It's a lot of work, and so I don't know. But there's that bag. Then I have my other Serenity bag, and this has my Jane hat on it. And in this, I have started my Humblebee out of Marisol Naiva. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And that is a cotton alpaca wool yarn in the color Carrot. Love this color. And this is one that you cast on all the stitches and then you decrease down. And I am decreasing down at the rate of, I think I'm on row 10. Yeah. Normally I find it a slog at the end of a shawl. This one's a slog at the beginning of the shawl. I really want to do it, and Boo bought me it for Christmas, or for my birthday, so yeah, I gotta get it done. But it is in my Fates Thread Serenity bag. In my Copper and Todd Fox and the Hound bag, I have my fingerless mitts, which I have finished one. I need to weave in all the ends, but I have one done. And the other one, I think I'm right here on. I'm not going to pull it out. But so I am on the second, and it's there. Just a simple gusseted thumb, and no purling at all, just a knit in the round. And these were going during one of my grandkids' sporting events again. And there we go. So I had said that I had cast on for a music box, and I was going to do it out of this cotton acrylic blend yarn. So blowing it out, you can see a star out of it. It's getting ripped out. Not doing it. Love this yarn though. It is extremely soft, so something will be made about this. I have a lot of this yarn. I may decide to just crochet up a blanket out of it for babies when they can go out. So, yep. So that's going to get ripped. It doesn't even have a bag that it's in. I had just started it. So in my I'm the youngest sister bag, I have the I know there's a word for it, the Ingrid sweater by Petite Knit. And this I am doing out of Cascade Yarns Heathers in a peach colorway. I told you I had a thing for peach right now. Don't want to lose stitches. It's all short rows back and forth right now, so I'm not in the middle of a row. That's where I am. So I have this much, and I adore this color, and this is so soft. And this is a cotton wool acrylic blend, I believe, from Cascade. So this is where I am on this. I haven't gotten very far, but I really, really like it. I had to go up to a size 8 needle, and I will be using 6s for the ribbing and such on it. It calls for a much smaller needle than that, but because I'm such a tight knitter, if I would have gone down to that size, it would not have been pretty. It would have been bulletproof, and that doesn't work for me. And I think finally what I have touched this month, not as if this wasn't enough, right? Is my Westford Wanderer by Stephen West. I'm not sure if that's the right name on it. Go with me. You have to have 65 of these little points. Each one of these pie sections that you see. I started this in 2020. Yeah, and I'm still not done with it. And it isn't that it takes a long time. It's just it's tedious with all the changes. Now you can weave in the ends into the I-cord on the edges, but it's still a lot of changes. And if I had to do this again, I want these colors. This is all yarn from CJ Kopak. And I had originally bought the yarn for Joji Locatelli's, it's the one where you go into the beginning and then it got the V's and it's a long, long wrap, but I didn't make it. I can't even remember the name of it. But I have each one of these little loop-de-loos. This would be 10, 20, 30, 40, and I'm coming up on 50 here. So I have like 47 or something. So I've got another 15 or so of these wedges to do, and it's just pick and choose what colors you want to throw together. I am doing it with 7 colors, so there's a lot of changes in there of the way this looks, but all of these colors will play out. This is the bottom, and then you decrease up from there. So another one where I'm casting on all the stitches, but this one was very short in order to do. And I've taken this to doctor's appointments. I had to go in and I had heart scans and other things that I've been going through to change medications and get it to where I'm not in AFib anymore. And so this was a quick something I could pick up and put down because it's short rows. And it's very simple. I got a lot of comments on it, but let's see, let's pull this out because that doesn't go in there. I don't know why that was thrown in there, but these are the colors that I'm doing it in. And it's very autumnal to me. It's got the peaches, the orange, the grays, the beige, the browns, and these are all singles. And I believe they are merino silk singles, and it is just so squishy and so soft. And so eventually this will become a shawl for me, and I will definitely enjoy snuggling up with it. If nothing else, it will become a scarf for me if I decide never to make it into a shawl, and then it will just be perfect as is without any complaints, right? Now I'm making it into a shawl. So this will eventually get done, but there's no time limit. Not huge on that. So there is that. It is not one of my longest whips though, as in aged. I have others that are there. I did find Sarge's buffalo sweater, and I'm going to be working on that. Right up here, I have the yarn for Sarge's sticks season sweater that he asked for. So those two things will be worked on. And I know that I promised Boo for Christmas last year that I would make her a reindeer. It's on my Make 9 list to get done. And I want the raccoon scarf for her for Christmas, as well as my daughter-in-law has asked for slippers. And I kept looking around and trying to find what slippers I wanted. And then Andrea Mowry put out that she's moving back to Michigan from Maine. I think she's on the other side of Michigan, though, not my side of Michigan. And she said all of her patterns that were self-published were going to be a certain amount off. And I think it's already off that, but I went ahead and I jumped on there and I looked. And I'm like, well, what could I get my daughter-in-law that she would like? And I ended up, Wanderer is something that's on my mind because I'm working on the Westford Wanderer. So these are the Wanderer slippers by Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits. And this is done in worsted weight, and I obviously have a ton of worsted weight that I can do it in. So I've just got to go through my stash and figure out what, and I'm going to be making these for her. And I think I'm going to make the tall ones, and I may make a set for my granddaughter as well, because she's turning 16 and slippers are never something that is a no. And then I know that Boo also needs some slippers. That isn't this pattern. She's asked for some door slippers. So when you walk into her house, because she lives next to a farm and a lot of that dander comes in, or a lot of the hay and other stuff come in, she has everybody remove your shoes when you come in. And I know a lot of places do that. We do that in our home because I don't want my rugs ruined, but she does it just because she has allergies. And that's a good reason to do it. I'm not putting anything down, but she asked if I could make her some slippers to have by the door, maybe a couple sets of medium and a couple sets of large, and maybe one set of extra large. So like a set of 6 pairs of slippers that could go by her front door that she could wash, but people could put on. And she wants something washable. So she said, Mom, I love the hat that you made for me out of Woolies, and I still use it. I made that for her in 2008. I made her a Brambles hat, and she is still wearing it to this day, and it's still her favorite hat. And I've made her 2 other hats that were Brambles, but that one she adores. So I'm like, okay, well, I have a whole cubby right back there that is filled with Woolies and all sorts of colors. And I think I have grays and I have beige, and I have oatmeal, which has the flecks, and I have pink, and I have, so I'm going to do up a few, maybe some stripes, maybe not some stripes, but it's going to be general socky type. It'll be the kind of, you just make the square and then you have a tube up that folds down for the top of the foot, and then you sew it up and you have a heel and you have the toe and everything. Yeah, it's simple. And so I'm going to make up some of those, and I'll be talking about those as I go forward. So I have a little bit of Christmas knitting to do. Bear is not asking for anything. Boo's husband's not asking for anything. So it's as I can. Yeah, I'll be getting that done. Not that I don't have a million other things to do, because I've still got other sweaters that are on the needles, and I know I have my garden gate that I really would like to get done. And I had wanted to do an alpine bloom and get that done, but other things have taken precedence in me getting things started. And like I said last time that I went through everything, I have 30 whips without the ones that I showed you today. So yeah, I have a yarn problem, but go big or go home, right? I think that's going to be the name of this. I'm going to write that down. What's on your list? Tell me, what are you making do you knit for Christmas or holidays? Or are you just one that you'd rather buy? Normally I don't knit a lot anymore for Christmas, so this is going to be an anomaly. I haven't in a few years. It's normally we would rather get together. Now we are changing holidays this year, meaning that a long time ago we gave up fighting for whether they had to be at our house on Thanksgiving. And finally I came to the conclusion of, I don't need people at my house on Thanksgiving. That means I don't have to clean my house and I don't have to make the big meal. But instead, as my house is normally clean except my office here, we do pizza the day after Thanksgiving, and that way everybody can hit all the Black Friday sales in the morning, go home, take a nap, and then about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody comes over, we have pizza, and we play games. Now this started out of me moving to South Dakota, and the first year I was gone, Sarge was not due to be there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have to cook a turkey. Sarge's favorite food is turkey. Doesn't matter if it's turkey sandwiches, turkey meatballs, turkey whatever, turkey. That's Sarge's favorite food. So it used to be that 4 or 5 times a year I would roast a turkey. It's not hard to roast a turkey. I never understand why people are really, oh my God, I got to roast a turkey. Throw it in a roaster. 4 hours later, you have a turkey and you're done. But it isn't just turkey. He wants my turkey, and I don't do anything special with my turkey. I pull it out, I defrost it, I get it out, I clean it, I rinse the inside, I salt the inside, I re-rinse the inside. I then pat down the outside, throw olive oil on it, throw poultry seasoning on, shove poultry seasoning, salt and pepper on the inside, and I cook it. That's all I do. That's all I've ever done. And he will get a turkey for him, but I don't have to share it with anybody, so he'll be in hog heaven. But the next day, he wasn't going to be there. I didn't have to do a Thanksgiving turkey. So I'm like, okay, what do I want? What is my dream that I can just chill out, relax, but still have something that I love? And I went, well, Lou's Pizza, Chicago, and they deliver. So I ordered pizza from Chicago, and they delivered. And 2 days before Thanksgiving, I heard from Sarge that he was on his way. Yes, he still got turkey. Not on Thanksgiving, but the day after. So when we moved back to Michigan last year, I just said, you know what? It is now our tradition, because the years that we were in South Dakota, that was our tradition. We just had pizza on Thanksgiving. Sarge would get a chicken or a turkey breast, and I would do sandwiches, and he'd have a week of sandwiches out of the breasts. And I'm not a huge fan of turkey. I will eat it, but it's not one of my favorite. I'm a chicken person more than a turkey person. So that's just what we do. And so coming back, as we have always had the Firefly, Firefly's been out, 20 years now? And Sarge and I, since they came out with the DVDs, that has been our Thanksgiving watch, and we watch Firefly. And I couldn't find our DVDs. So yes, I found them now. But we just decided we're not going to fight. The grandkids are old enough. We'd never get together as a family, as in absolutely everybody. So we're going to do the day after Thanksgiving, and we're going to do pizza, and we're going to do game night. And I have a ton of games, whether it be 2 people, 4 people, dice games that everybody can join in on, Monopoly, Risk, all sorts of, and we set up 3 tables around the room, and everybody has room to eat, and everybody has room to play. And some people go off and play on the floor, and they'll play Snap, or they'll play something else like that. And then we just have until, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then everybody's going home. And nobody has to get drunk. Nobody has to do anything like that. We just have a good family game night, and that's what we do. So we're getting ready to do that again in November. And everybody's coming over, and now we're expanding it just from our family with kids. We're also asking the in-laws and a couple cousins, and just, a grand thing. So I'm like, okay, what can we do in December? Because again, Boo normally hosts the family Christmas, but what can we do to, mom and dad are back in town? And I have decided that I am going to do a cookie night, and we're going to make, or a cookie day, and we're going to make tons of cookies, and everybody gets to take a tray home. And so I'll pull out my pizzelle maker. We'll make cannolis. We will make gingerbread cookies. I have embossed rolling pins to make sugar cookies, and you don't have to frost them. They're just embossed, and you shake a little bit of powdered sugar on them, and you're done. And what I told everybody is I will supply the flour and the sugars, and then you supply whatever else you need. Of course, I'll probably pick up eggs too, because, depending. So they have to tell me what recipe they want to make, and bring over some cookie sheets. And I have 2 KitchenAid mixers. My daughter might bring hers too, so we might have 3 KitchenAid mixers. I have both the toaster oven and the regular oven, and we'll just have cookie baking and carols and fun all day long with that. So we're going to do that mid-December, but I will be back to talk to you before that. But I think that takes me to the end. I don't have a new gadget for you. I'm kind of just trying to not collect more stuff. I have a lot of gadgets that I am using, but yeah, I used to do a gadget every week, and I got out of buying things like that. I have enough. I have enough. I know, go big or go home, but no, I have enough. So until next time, check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye.
I got one ready. Hit me. Oh, what's the cylinder? Whoops. Loaded. You jammed it.
You gotta hold in. There you go. What are you aiming at?
I had the distance. Hook.